Compare two apologies for a missed deadline. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I was really busy, but it won't happen again. Now compare, I apologize for the late reply. I'll prioritize your request now and answer all questions by tomorrow. The second combines ownership with a concrete next step. The useful test is simple. Does the apology help the other person understand what happened and what you will do now? Repeating sorry adds emotion, but not information. A stronger apology names the mistake, recognizes the effect, offers repair, and shows prevention. Keep those four functions in mind throughout the lesson.
So I hear the difference. If I say, I sent the message to the wrong group, and I own that mistake completely, responsibility is clear before any explanation. I do not need extra emotion. I need direct ownership that the listener can trust.
Here is the 80-20 model. Put most of your apology into ownership, impact, remedy, and prevention. Keep explanation to the smaller part, only when context is genuinely useful. Think of it as a mental model, not a literal word count. Action-focused language should clearly outweigh defensive explanation. If explanation starts to dominate, rebalance toward action. Start with ownership. Name the exact mistake in the first person. I missed the meeting. That was on me. Compare that with the morning was chaotic, so I missed the meeting. The second sentence begins with circumstances. The first begins with responsibility, which makes everything that follows sound more credible. Next, add impact when it matters. I understand that this delayed your review, shows that you see the consequence for the other person, not only your own regret. Then move to repair. I'll send the corrected version within 30 minutes. Finally, add prevention only when it is specific enough to be believable.
Let me try the sequence. I missed the deadline. That was on me. Let me make it right by sending the finished draft by 4. The first sentence names the mistake, the second owns it, and the third repairs it. If repetition is possible, I would add one specific prevention step.
A prevention step should describe a system, not just a promise. Compare "it won't happen again" with "I'll set up a reminder so this won't recur before our next review." The second is stronger because the listener can picture what will change. Say the complete line once, then adapt it to a task you often forget or delay. For trust-based mistakes, you can also name the human impact. I know I've let you down by forgetting our appointment, and I'm sorry. That works because it acknowledges disappointment without turning into self-attack. Now change the situation. Replace the forgotten appointment with a missed promise or follow-up. Register changes the wording, not the structure. At work, I take responsibility for sending the wrong version of the report sounds formal and precise. In everyday speech, "that was on me" is shorter. Both place responsibility clearly with the speaker before any explanation.
If the train is canceled, I cannot honestly take responsibility for the cancellation itself. I can say, I couldn't control the train cancellation, but I promise to communicate earlier next time. That keeps the reason brief and puts responsibility on the part one controlled, telling the other person sooner.
Another strong ownership phrase is "I own that mistake completely." Use it when full responsibility is accurate and a direct, neutral tone fits. Do not use strong ownership language to exaggerate your responsibility for things outside your control. The goal is accuracy. Own your part fully, but only your part. Now test explanation against excuse. "I'm sorry, I was really busy" may be true, but it can sound like the reason is competing with the apology. A better structure is, "The reason was a heavy workload, but I should have warned you earlier." Context appears briefly, then the sentence returns to your controllable action. Listen to this spoken ownership. "That was on me. I apologize." Keep the smaller words light and let the key meaning words carry the sentence. More importantly, notice the order. Responsibility appears before explanation. If you need context later, add one short sentence and then return to repair or prevention.
I can keep it short. I apologize for missing the deadline. I'll send the finished draft by 4. That sounds stronger than a long excuse because the mistake and the remedy are both clear. I can repeat the pattern with another problem by changing the action and the repair.
For a conversational tone, use "that was on me." Let me make it right by covering the delivery fee. After by, use an ing form because you are naming the repair action. Try "let me make it right" by calling the client myself. Keep ownership and remedy together. Then state when you will act so the remedy feels concrete. Common error 1 is repeated apology language with no repair. Sorry, I feel terrible, may sound emotional, but the listener still does not know what happens next. Replace repetition with information. I'm sorry I sent the wrong file. I'll resend the correct version now. One apology plus one useful action is stronger. Common error 2 is blame shifting. You didn't remind me, so I forgot pushes responsibility away from the speaker. If another person contributed, you can still own your part. We both missed the check, and I should have confirmed the final version. Shared responsibility does not require defensive language.
So instead of saying, "It won't happen again," I can make prevention visible. I'll set 2 reminders and confirm the meeting the day before. That gives the listener something concrete to trust. I can use the same idea for files, deadlines, or follow-ups by naming the exact system.
Common error 4 is self-attack. I'm useless. I always mess everything up can shift the other person into comforting you. Keep the focus on the mistake instead. I entered the wrong date in the schedule. I'll correct it and notify everyone now. Specific language keeps attention on repair, and it avoids turning the apology into a judgment about your whole character. Common error 5 is grammar after 4. Say, sorry for missing the meeting, not sorry for missed the meeting. After 4, use a noun or an ing form for the delay, for sending the wrong file, or for forgetting the appointment. Repeat one correct example before moving on. Worked example 1, a late reply. I apologize for the late reply. I'll prioritize your request now and answer all questions by tomorrow. Notice the sequence. Name the exact issue, then give a measurable remedy. Extra reasons are unnecessary unless they truly change what the listener needs to know.
For a forgotten meeting, I would say, "I'm sorry I missed the meeting." I'll set 2 reminders and confirm the meeting the day before next time. If my mistake forced someone to rearrange their schedule, I can also add, "I understand that you had to change your plans." Notice how that names the impact clearly.
Worked example 3, a wrong date. I entered the wrong date in the schedule. I'll correct it and notify everyone now. The speaker owns the exact mistake and gives an immediate remedy. Repeat it, then replace the schedule error with another work mistake and a matching repair. Worked example 4, a wrong report version. I take responsibility for sending the wrong version of the report. I'll send the corrected file now and double-check the recipient list before future sends. The formal phrase fits a professional context, while the remedy and prevention show that the apology is more than words. Now focus on delivery. I understand the impact of the delay on your client presentation. Keep of the light and stress the content words. Understand, impact, delay, and client presentation. Say the sentence once slowly, then again at natural speed without giving every word equal weight.
I hear how "let me" flows together in "let me make it right" by sending the corrected file now. I should not separate every small word. I keep the beginning smooth, then give more stress to the repair action. I'll repeat the full sentence once slowly and once at natural speed, while keeping the meaning clear.
Reduce to in a natural phrase such as "I need to apologize for missing the deadline." The main stress belongs on need and apologize, while to stays light. Say it slowly, then naturally. Aim for clear rhythm with strong meaning words and lighter function words. Contrast stress can show responsibility. Say, the train was canceled, but I should have messaged you earlier. Stress should because it highlights the action that was still under your control. Repeat the sentence, then change the external cause while keeping the same contrast between circumstance and responsibility. Make the controllable action sound strongest. Guided practice 1. Choose the stronger apology. Option A, sorry, I was busy. Option B, I apologize for the late reply. I'll answer the remaining questions by tomorrow. Choose before I tell you. The stronger answer is B because it names the problem and adds a specific remedy instead of stopping at regret.
I would repair, "You never reminded me, so I forgot," by saying, "I missed the reminder, and I should have checked the schedule myself." That still leaves room for shared responsibility, but it stops me from using the other person as an excuse. The sentence returns to the action I controlled.
Guided practice 3. Make prevention specific. Replace "I promise it won't happen again" with a system. One model is, I'll set up a reminder so this won't recur before our next review. Now create a prevention step for files, meetings, or important messages. Make it observable, realistic, and directly connected to the mistake. Guided practice 4. Use impact without over-dramatizing. I know I've let you down if it's a personal or trust-based mistake. At work, I understand that this delayed your review may be more appropriate. Choose the sentence that fits the relationship, then add one concrete action that repairs the situation. Guided practice 5. When you cannot predict the perfect repair, say, I've corrected the numbers, let me know what you need from me now. This invites the other person to specify what would help. Build one new sentence with the same pattern, but first state what you have already fixed. After resending a file, ask what else would help.
So the train cancellation was outside my control, but the silence was not. I can say, I couldn't control the train cancellation, but I promised to communicate earlier next time. Then I can test another external problem and ask myself which communication action was still available to me.
Shared responsibility. Imagine two people both missed a final check. Avoid saying, it was partly your fault too. Instead say, we both missed the check, and I should have confirmed the final version. Own your controllable part without taking false responsibility. A genuine system outage. A useful structure is, the reason was a system outage, but I should have warned the team as soon as I noticed it. The outage explains the delay. It does not erase the communication duty. Keep the context to one sentence, then move to repair. Do not over-apologize for something you did not control. If a courier lost the package after you followed the correct process, acknowledge the impact, give the verified context briefly, and own only the next action you can take to help.
My first sentence for the supervisor case would be, I missed our meeting, and that was on me. I would not explain the whole morning yet. Starting with direct ownership makes the apology easier to trust. Then I can add the impact, the repair, and one prevention step.
Second sentence, show impact or remedy. One strong option is, I understand that this disrupted your schedule. Let me make it right by rescheduling at a time that works for you. If the supervisor needs a document instead, change the remedy. The action should match the inconvenience, and timing should be clear when it matters. Third sentence, add prevention. I should have confirmed the meeting earlier. I'll set 2 reminders and confirm the time the day before. This shows what you learned from the mistake. Say the 3 parts together now: ownership, impact or remedy, and a specific prevention step. Keep any explanation brief. Here is a second application. You were running late and failed to call. Say, I should have called when I knew I was running late. I'll message earlier next time. Transfer that logic to the missed supervisor meeting. Name the controllable failure, then give one prevention step that would reduce repetition.
My full version is, I missed our meeting, and that was on me. I understand that this disrupted your schedule. I'll set 2 reminders and confirm the time the day before. If I add context, I'll keep it brief, so responsibility and action still carry most of the apology.
Retrieval quiz 1. After I apologize for, choose, missing the meeting, not miss the meeting. 4. Takes a noun or an ing form. Now create one fresh apology using another, ing action. Retrieval quiz 2. Which is more natural with a close colleague, that was on me, or I hereby accept full responsibility. The first is usually more natural in everyday spoken English. Formality changes the wording, but not the logic. Your sentence should still include ownership and, when useful, a concrete remedy. Retrieval quiz 3. A train is canceled and you arrive late without warning. What should you own? Not the cancellation itself. Own the failure to communicate. A strong answer is, the train was canceled, but I should have messaged you earlier. Add one prevention step now, without promising control over future train problems.
The stronger prevention step is, I'll set 2 reminders and confirm the meeting the day before. That is better than it won't happen again, because it describes a real system. I can explain the difference simply. Specific prevention gives the listener evidence that my future behavior will change.
Recap the mental model. Most of the apology should carry ownership, impact, remedy, and prevention. Explanation is the smaller part, used only when it adds necessary context. Start with the exact mistake, then move forward. If the listener still does not know what you will do next, the apology is probably incomplete. Keep these high-value chunks ready. I take responsibility for. For formal ownership, that was on me. For natural spoken ownership, let me make it right by. For remedy, and I'll set up a reminder so this won't recur. For prevention, match the chunk to the relationship and problem. Your final checklist is short. Own the exact mistake, recognize the impact when it matters, offer a concrete repair, add a realistic prevention step, and keep explanation proportionate. The goal is not a perfect speech. The goal is an apology that gives the other person clear evidence that you understand, care, and will act.